take a very good look at this setting here behind me, because this is the last time that you're seeing it. Yep. Number 1, number 2, they won't be living here anymore. Yes, you heard me right. After more than 10 years without a wardrobe, I've decided to retire my trusty clothing rack and secondhand dresser. So I headed to IKEA to get myself a ticket to organized adulthood. A real wardrobe and a new chest of drawers. And no, I didn't get distracted at all. Go! If you have watched any of my videos before, you definitely know that these two pieces of furniture truly have been trusty companions for me. I loved and cherished them, but a change was definitely necessary and needed for my mental sanity and the overall feeling of my studio. The clothing rack has been quite crooked and probably on the verge of breaking for quite some time now, and the secondhand dresser is long past its prime, since 3 drawers out of 3 are broken. I mean, you can tell that she's exhausted, the poor thing. And she is officially broken. They served me well, but it's time for them to go. I hope it's gonna be worth it. I think I might have underestimated this. It's weird. Been organizing for, I don't know, 2 hours. And while a part of me is having a lot of fun, the other part of me, I think, is frustrated. How the freak you organize those spaces? Those are impossible to organize. I mean, I've always considered myself very good at organizing, but I guess that was before having a wardrobe again. How do you do it without wasting a lot of space? Look how much space I'm wasting. I mean, I'm still happy because I'm able to condense so much more in there, but I'm having lots of troubles to organize things properly. I mean, look at this mess. I will never be finished. If there would ever be a memoir of mine, the title of it would most definitely be, I think I've underestimated this, or I might have underestimated this, because this is exactly what's happening right
now. Send some help.
Hey there. It's a few days later. Actually, it's 2 weeks later. Oopsie. Life has been lifing a little in a good way, but I really wanted to make sure that things looked and felt the way that I wanted them to be. The organizational part of this project was done pretty quickly, surprisingly. Well, not surprisingly. I mean, it's as a matter of fact, this place is really tiny, so I was not allowed to have such a mess and chaos in the studio for longer than a weekend. So the organizational portion of this project was pretty quick. And then I wanted to do a couple of aesthetic tweaks to, match the aesthetic and the feel that I want to have in the studio. Sure, function is important, but for me also aesthetics are important because I want this studio to be a place that I'm happy to come back to or to wake up in every single day. And so without further ado, the time has come, so let me introduce you to the new upgraded version of my studio apartment and the 2 new pieces of furniture that I have in here. I mean, what? When I look at this, I see organization and cohesion and harmony and order when I have seen almost none of that lately. It means that the change was much needed and really made sense for me. I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of what we have in here. A lot of things I was able to hang on the rack, including some of my jackets that previously were stored underneath my bed in storage bags. So now I have even thick things like my winter jacket all fit in this wardrobe. And for me, this is a huge accomplishment. Not only I was able to organize better, but I was able to clear some of the space underneath my bed. Now, things like my bedding and towels and very, very specific summery clothes are still underneath my bed. Here we have things that I felt they should be hung. And so we got jackets, we got skirts and dresses, that kind of stuff. Some of my denim jackets, because yes, I have multiples. On the bottom, I've put some extra shoes that used to be on the bottom part of my clothing rack. And now they have a home down there. So there's a separate tray to put them in so nothing gets dirty, but shoes are there. I have some extra hangers and everything is organized in kind of like categories. Here we have like a shelving situation where I also have things stored in categories, and I made sure to purchase. I was unsure about this, like which containers am I supposed to get? So I decided to get the ones that made the most sense, and they ended up being very, very good for this project. I bought 2 sets with different sizes of containers, and they've been working super well. So I've been able to separate things and organize them properly. Here is a quick overview of how I've organized the inside of my wardrobe. About the chest of drawers, the last bottom drawers are just undergarments and socks, so you don't really need to see that. And here on the top drawer, I got some jewelry and different accessories. So that's pretty much it. I've decided to decorate the top of the wardrobe using some fake plants, a couple of picture frames, and my bulkiest boots, because they are indeed bulky and don't fit anywhere else, so I might as well do something decorative out of them, right? I really wanted to make everything more pleasant to the eye and more personal, but also I wanted to prevent a certain cat to try new flying stunts in the studio. She is also a fake plant. I know it's questionable, but I like plants, but I am terrible at keep taking care of them. So for me, the solution is fake plants. And to be honest, the ones that I had them for years already, and they really do make a difference and they work for me. So my studio, my rules. As for the old stuff, they're in my basement for now, as I needed them out of my studio but didn't want to send them to the landfill. The rack can definitely still work for a flea market sale or similar projects. The dresser is definitely done as a dresser, but since it was secondhand to begin with, it could maybe be repurposed and given to someone who likes a DIY project. now let's just chit chat about this whole experience. The decision of buying this wardrobe came primarily out of frustration and resentment. And the whole thing happened pretty quickly. Normally, I just tend to be someone that thinks about a lot especially when, a big purchase is involved, like in this case. I really think about things like if I want to buy them, if I need to buy them, and all of that. I started to develop frustration and resentment against my studio, which is supposed to be the place where not only I live, but the place where I can be free and feel cozy and at home. This is not just my address. This is where I live, where I thrive, where I function. It was kind of like one of those things, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. No matter how hard I tried, I always had the sensation that the studio was messy, that it was disorganized, that it was kind of like out of my control, and I didn't like that. Also, the dresser has been broken for a while, but it was still usable until a few months ago. Literally all of the drawers were broken. And so it was a challenge to get things in and out of it. It was frustrating. I was cursing all the time. I told to myself, it's not a big deal. I can live with this, until I couldn't. When you use things on a daily basis and they no longer function for you, you can try as hard as you want to try to settle down for what the situation currently is, but sooner or later you're gonna get tired of it and you're gonna want a change. So that's one point. But then the other point is that my beloved clothing rack, she has been here with me for 10 years. It became part of my identity. It was one of the things you could recognize me for. I was so proud of being someone, you know what, I don't need a wardrobe. I have a clothing rack, I have a couple of drawers and a couple of storage boxes underneath my bed. It works just fine. And I loved it for the aesthetic, for the lightness of it all and the quirkiness of it all. Instead of being something that I would really feel joyful when looking at, it started to give me the sensation of someone just organized a flea market and they brought this from home and they put as much stuff as they could on it. No matter how hard I tried, every time that I needed to take things off of it or put it back on it, it was a challenge. I couldn't find a way to organize things better. As someone who has been regularly decluttering my life in the past decade, and I've been living in a studio apartment for the last 5 years, almost. There's only this much that you can declutter when you already do that on a regular basis and you already live in a studio apartment that forces you to be very, very mindful and specific about the things that you have in your home, because there's literally no space for it. My life has changed a lot, especially ever since I moved here. I have become a different person. I have grown. I have evolved. Things happened that changed me. Now I'm in a very different place in life, and you can tell that by the way I dress. By changing as a person and growing and, evolving and gaining even more confidence about myself and about the way I want to express myself through clothes, I bought clothes. And I have definitely more compared to the years when I was doing Project 333. At that time, I was literally able to fit my entire wardrobe in a suitcase, basically. I didn't have a lot of clothes. I thought I didn't need a lot of them. Like I mentioned before, having this clothing rack and being able to, say, I don't have a wardrobe, kind of was my thing. It was my thing, and I loved it. And I never felt the urge to have a wardrobe. I'm not gonna lie, when I brought this thing home and I started to build it and then I saw it in my studio, my first reaction was,
I hate this. It looks horrendous. I no longer have space in the studio apartment. I don't know what to do. Dang it.
Especially I found the organizing part very overwhelming. I didn't know, where am I supposed to put things? Am I supposed to put sweaters folded? Should I put them upright? Should I put them on a pile? How do you do things? I don't know. I didn't know. Nobody teaches you how to organize a wardrobe. You just kind of have to figure it out yourself. After that initial phase in which I was completely lost and overwhelmed and I didn't know what to do, it started to become something that, wait a second, this is working. My gut was right. Not even a week in, it started to become the most natural thing in the world. And now I am extremely grateful and pleased that I did this choice. Normally, I overthink and I just want to plan everything, but it just came out of me out of nowhere. You know what? I don't know how much time I have left to live in this studio apartment. I don't know. Nobody knows. But I want to make the time that I have left here a good one. I want to be able to feel good in my home. I want to be able to enjoy the everyday activities and not feel constantly overwhelmed. You know, little tiny things that on a daily basis, once you put them all together, they create a big, gigantic thing that you can no longer ignore. I think I had these feelings in my subconscious for so long that probably that's why everything came out so good. I made my research and I've chosen IKEA. Yes, I don't have a car and I am chronically ill, so I literally cannot transport used pieces of furniture here and there, like on public transportation, or do whatever other thing that you want to do with when you buy secondhand furniture and you need to bring it home yourself. It would have been delightful, but I wanted this thing to be fixed as quickly as possible. When I wake up in the morning, I don't hate myself for choosing these two pieces of furniture. And all in all, everything came together pretty nicely. For me, discovering minimalism and having this sentiment grow and change through the years has been a wonderful experience. And yes, I will still keep living a simple life because ultimately it's been a life-changing experience to be able to live with certain mindsets and perfection them and adapt them to new life situations over the last decade. And once you learn something and you truly come to the understanding, this is how I want to live my life, then there you have it. There's not coming back from that, but there is coming back from, decisions that probably were never meant to be definite. Popping in real quick as I am editing this. When I sat down to record the last portion of this video, I have talked for over 23 minutes. I had a lot of thoughts to share on this experience, but it would have been way too long to include all of that in this video. So I really want to leave you with a final thought, because ultimately this experience was a reminder of something that, in my opinion, tends to be forgotten quite easily. Just because something has served you for a while, even 10 years or more, it doesn't mean that it has to serve you forever. It's okay to outgrow it. True simplicity isn't just about owning less, but it's much more about making mindful choices that honor who you are now, your real current self, not the one that you wish you were or the one that you once were. I hope I didn't blabber too much, and I hope that what I shared with you makes some sort of sense. Thank you all so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate you and your support, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Bye.